everyone, so today I'm going to do this nail tutorial for this kind of graphic angular nail art design that I've got on at the minute. I've done it on my thumb and ring fingers, and then I've painted my other nails with different colours that I've used in the design. I would say this is a moderately hard design. It takes quite a long time to do. It's kind of a good one if you're watching a film, or you can always do a bit and then come back to it, because the main thing that takes a lot of time with this design is it needs quite a lot of drying time. It is much easier on your nails than it is doing on a nail wheel. I'm really regretting doing that, as this is the fourth, maybe even fifth time I've tried to film this today. But I'm determined I'm going to do it. So yeah, I did it on my nails the other day, and it was much easier when I did it on my nails. So if you see me struggling with anything, don't worry. The main issue I'm having with the nail wheels is that because they're plastic, every time I peel the tape off, it's taping the polish off that I've just painted underneath it. So, yeah, so for this one, for this colourway, I've used the Coral Island by Peggy Saig, the Royal Botanical Gardens by Nail Ink, and the white, which is number 49 from Malvala, and then I've used the peach colour and the turquoise colour from the Spring Summer collection from Nail Ink for this year. The peach one is called Burton Lane, and the green one turquoise one, is called William Street. And the one I'm going to do today, I'm going to do a slightly different colour palette, slightly more sophisticated. I'm using this pale nude colour called Liberty from Malvala as the base coat, Blackout from Maybelline Colour Show, Basil Street from Nail Ink, which is a slightly darker nude, this kind of muted gold colour which is called Uptown Glamour. This was Kate Spade for Nail Ink that was in Glamour magazine last year, but any gold polish would be fine, and Champagne Kisses from China Glaze. But really just pick whatever colours you want, just make sure they're complementary, and probably throw a nude or a black or a white in there just to stop it being a bit too much, but a rainbow one would probably look really cute actually. Then to do this design you only need two other things, and that is some of this tape, which is sometimes it's called magic tape, sometimes it's called a visible tape, but it's kind of this matte finish sellotape. It's slightly less tacky than normal sellotape, which is important for this because you don't need to pull your nail varnish off that you just painted on. And then I've got a nail tool, and I use the ball end just to kind of smooth down the nail polish on the nail, because I can get in there easier than I can with my finger. But you could use a cocktail stick or end of a pencil, whatever you've got to hand. You don't necessarily need a nail dotting tool. Okay, so the first thing you're going to need to do for this is to paint your base coat on, and then give it a really long time to dry, like a good half hour. This is what I mean, it takes a long time, but you can easily split it up. So you could paint all the base coats, go and do something else for an hour, or even do it the next day. Because if you don't leave it that amount of time, when you put the nail, the sellotape on, it's going to peel the nail polish off. And then after you've done that, you need to pull off quite a long piece of tape, probably about like 20 centimetres or something, and you want to stick it on the back of your hand a few times, like this. So you just want to stick it on the back of your hand and pull it off and stick it back on again, so you want to do it twice, and this will just take off some of the tape, the stick on the tape, and make it stick to the nail polish less, because you want to be able to move it smoothly and without damaging your design. So to start with, I've done, as you can see, these are some of my other attempts. I've painted this polish here with, hang on, let me just zoom in. I painted this nail here with the base coat, and I've already put the first black segment on. So for the first black one, I put two pieces of the tape on. The first one goes diagonally from the top, and it must go through the middle of the nail, and that's going to be your centre point for your design, like here. And then your second piece must intersect it at that centre point. You can move it up or down, this one's further back, other ones are further down, but you want it roughly in the middle section of the nail. And then for the second section you only need one piece of tape, which I've put on here. Then I'm going to pick my second colour, which I'm going to use this gold, and for this free edge I'm going to do by carefully lining it up with the black, which means I don't have to stick another piece of tape over the semi-wet black. Just try and do it carefully. If it overlaps a tiny bit, it's not the end of the world. It's just nail art, it doesn't have to be perfect. And just try and get it as even as you can. Because this is a gold metallic polish, it is a little bit streaky. There we are. And when you've done that, you want to peel it off really gently at the same angle that the tape is stuck on at. So I'm going to take it back on itself so you don't smudge it up or down out of its line. And because I'm doing it on the nail wheel and it keeps peeling off from the edges, I'm going to go from the centre out, but really it's up to you, just do whichever way is easiest. There we are. And you get a nice smooth line. And then just put that piece of tape in the bin, you won't be able to reuse it because it's got wet polish on. Okay, take your next piece of tape and section off your next area, and you're just going to go across the centre point like that. And then this is where the nail art tool comes in handy, or whatever you've got to smooth down the tape. And just make sure that there's no air bubbles in there. Then I'm going to take my darker nude now and paint carefully into this section. If you do need to do a second coat, you can kind of do it while the first one's still a tiny bit damp, just so you can get the tape off more easily. There we are. It is better if you, rather than going straight onto the next one on the same nail, do the same first segment on a different nail and just kind of rotate through your nails that you're doing. It'll just give the polish a little bit longer to dry between coats, and it'll just make it easy for yourself. So there we are. Okay, I've stuck the next piece of tape on now, and I've cut the excess off just to make it a little bit easier for myself, and so it's not flapping around all over the place. I'm going to do the gold glitter now. Sorry about that. When you're trying to connect the two lines, just try and do it in one smooth, steady stroke. If you mess the angle up a tiny bit, it's fine, just overlap them a tiny bit. It'll look fine. It'll look better than trying to go back in and doing a wobbly line. There we are, that's the gold done. Again, I'm going to have to be really careful to try and peel this off. If you wanted to, you could always get some tweezers to help you take the tape off with. In fact, I'm going to go and grab some tweezers. So I'm just going to take this off with my tweezers. There we are. So then for the last piece, I want to split this segment in two, and I'm going to have another black segment, just to kind of balance the design out a little bit. And for this last one, I've cut this kind of wedge piece of tape, just to make it easier for me to get into this last segment. If you'd left it longer between applying them, you would be able to just stick the tape over the black one without too much worry. Just use the nail tool just to smooth down. Make sure there's no air bubbles so the nail polish will run underneath. Okay, and then going with the last colour, which is the black. Yeah, try to not get it on your other nails. It's not an issue on these because that'll just, once as soon as it's dry, it'll chip off really easily. And then carefully take the tape off. Oh. Hang on a sec. As I said about it pulling the nail polish off when I tried to take it off, you can see how it's kind of bubbled up here. But on your actual nails, it won't do that at all. It's just because these are so smooth that it's got nothing to stick to. So there we are. Then give it a good few minutes to dry, and then stick some top coat on. And your graphic angled nails will be done. If anybody wants to show me if you've done your own colour variants of these, I'm also on Twitter at BritStitcher as well, and you could tweet me your designs. I'd really like to see if somebody's come up with some other good colour combinations. Same for the flower ones as well, which I did in another video. Thank you very much for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe, and have a good day. Bye!